Something is not adding up. A church full of worshippers was attacked in Kwara State. In the same week, Nigerian politicians were busy denying insecurity and fighting America instead of protecting Nigerians. But what happened inside the church is only half of the story. The part everyone is ignoring is the most disturbing part. And in this video, we are going to show you everything you need to know. How much of Donald Trump's concern about Christians' genocide compared to that of Nigeria's president. Also, how a northern politician claimed they will use the same pattern they used for Goodluck Jonathan out of power for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We will also show you how Minister of Foreign Affairs downplayed the statistics of genocide. And finally, the testimony of a reverend who has conducted several mass burials of Christian victims. Then I will leave you to connect the dots. Make sure you watch to the end. Something must be done before it gets to your doorsteps. This footage you see on your screen is the footage of yesterday's attack in the church. Imagine that old woman is your mother, your sister, or your wife. And the bandit, the sophisticated weapon they were carrying, how do they get it?
For daring to say they worship Jesus as Christ. Just yesterday, 25 little girls were kidnapped from their school, and one school official murdered trying to protect them, from MAGA Comprehensive Girls Secondary School in Kebbi State. Colleagues, this is happening. It's undeniable, and it's unacceptable. The United States condemns these attacks in the strongest terms, and it demands accountability. And as President Trump has made clear, we will not stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria. The government of Nigeria must take immediate steps and do more to increase security, respond to early warnings, end impunity, and address the drivers of violence. And colleagues, we need to see African leadership on these matters, and we need to see a coordinated response among all countries in the region. The situation is critical.
The question is, if the US is more concerned and they are sure about their statistics, how come the Minister of Foreign Affairs is not sure about the statistics of Christians and churches affected? What will you say about that? Watch him speak.
We don't want to be the next Sudan. We will not allow ourselves to be the next Sudan.
No, I understand that.
Where are the faith-based groups that were agitating for Sudan to be dismembered? They're no longer there to fix Sudan.
Okay.
Not north, not south.
Okay.
It's Nigeria as a member of the Peace
Let me jump in if I may.
With heavy lifting.
Foreign Minister, if I may, I'd like to jump in if I may, because you do seem to be avoiding my questions. You know, you don't seem to know how many Christians have been murdered, which I find surprising.
I'm not.
Well, you haven't given me any. You've told me you don't know.
I'm not avoiding
Well, with respect, sir, you have not given.
Nigerians, so
no, I know what you said.
May not necessarily
I understand.
Same as those that.
But you are, yes. But what you're saying, if you could let me speak, what you're saying is that you dispute the numbers of Christians that have been reported to have been killed, but you have no idea how many Christians have been killed. What we surely can agree on is how many Christian churches have been destroyed. Do you know how many?
Yes, I do. Over the last 2 years, there have been 52 churches, depending on which region, again, you are referring to, because there are different regions in Nigeria, and there are, I can give you the figures right here now. So,
well, how many since 2009?
Since 2009, since the last 5 years, the attacks, not destroyed, attacks on churches, 102. So we're not hiding any figures, you see. It's important to understand this. Same way that there are mosques that are destroyed. I don't even have to mention that. Nigeria is configured in such a way that you have Muslim and Christian populations all across the country. There are, of course, states out of the 36 states that we have that have a high concentration of Christians, the same way that there are states where you have a high concentration of Muslims.
This is an evidence on your screen how some Nigerian Christians stick to their faith despite after their church was burnt. Could this be politics? And if it is, what Nasiru Rufai public statement? Watch him.
He cannot, he will be at best third. But he can deceive himself. He may think, oh, you know, I have money. Because they have taken all the money in the country. I have INEC, I have the police, I have the army. You know what? President Tinubu, invite President Jonathan for a chat and ask him if he didn't have all this in 2015 and we got him out.
Is the case still the same, similar to 2015?
It's
there are those who will say Tinubu has never lost an election. And he's different as a politician compared to Goodluck Jonathan.
Tinubu has never lost an election? That can be contested, but it's okay. He has never lost an election. It's a political strategist. He's this, he's that. Wait. Nasiru Rufai has said, if you want to learn some lessons, invite President Jonathan for a chat over coffee and ask him what happened in 2015.
Today, I don't have much to say. Like I said, I will leave you to connect the dots. Now, I will leave you to the hand of Reverend Ezekiel Dakuma, and you will wrap it up by yourself. Watch this again.
The word of Trump towards Nigeria is quite marvelous, as is comparable to what the Bible says, as Israel was under persecution in Egypt. When there comes another Pharaoh that did not know Joseph, the Israelites went into deep crisis. Their labor was double. It was double. To the stage, God allowed this thing to happen to the state that they have to cry. When they cried out, Exodus chapter 3 verse 7 came up. God decided to say, it is time, let us go down. I've heard the cry of my people, and let us show concern. Depends on different interpretation of the Bible. But one version says, let us show concern. I have concern for my people in Egypt. I've heard their cry. Let me go down and deliver them from the Egyptian, from slavery. It is same thing with us in Nigeria. All Nigerian Christians have been in bondage right from 2021. In fact, it reached a stage that they have the Islamic terrorists have vowed that Christians should never lead them. 2021, there was organized massacre that cut across every place in the nation, Nigeria. But the media here are downplaying things for themselves. And this is where we are in trouble. I've performed several genocide burials, more than 70 times. Imagine some of the graves are 501 people killed in one night in Dogona, Hawa, village named Gebru. The Nigerian government downplayed that one because the Islamic are controlling the government.
So the Nigerian government, if I may just jump in there, the Nigerian government has vehemently denied there is a genocide of Christians in Nigeria. Further, they say a lot of Muslims have also been killed by the likes of Boko Haram for being too moderate, and that therefore the issue of Islamists killing people is not restricted just to Christians, but also to moderate Muslims. What do you say to that?
So let me give you the background of what happened. This is the background with initial fact-finding. They created Boko Haram by many that are in hierarchy of the government to remove Goodluck, who is a Christian, what happened. They steered them. They caused riot every village. And the people run away. They were relocated. And their target is to kill the Christian. Because Goodluck is a Christian. That's why Goodluck says, my blood is not worthy for other people to die. He voluntarily and submit and accept result even before it was finished counting. He knows the danger. Had it been Goodluck announced the true result of the election, many Christians in the north will go into the grave. Because it was really declared a jihad. In Borno, they will enter village on Sunday. They will meet people in the church. And they will lock the church building with Christian inside. Anybody that is found outside, they will order him to go in. They lock the church. They put Gatling. They set the church building ablaze. All Christians that were inside, including the pastor, the elders, and everybody, were burned to death. This is the report that they will never tell. They move to other village. They will find people in the church. They will bring them out and separate male and female. And all the male, they will assemble them for slaughtering. They will slaughter all of them, including the old, the youth, and everybody. And for the female, they will select the female for themselves and divide it among themselves. Sexual harassment will take place.
Reverend Dashwood, if I could ask you, if I could ask you, what is your message to Donald Trump? Because he was very moved by your words. What is your message to him?
My message to Donald Trump should never stop what he's doing, because what he's doing is not his own. Showing concern to Nigerian Christian, it tallies with Exodus chapter 3 verse 7. As God showed concern to Egypt, to Israel in Egypt, the Hebrews, so he has to show concern to us. Let me tell you, there's a genocide in Nigeria. And when it comes, it's not going to be us alone. It's going to help the Muslims. When the Christians in the far north were able to escape to the middle belt, what will they left? You hear them saying Muslims are also killed. By who? By Muslims. Because of set differences. Some were trained in Saudi Arabia. Some were trained in Afghanistan. Some were trained in Iran. All of them have different background of belief. They brought it into Nigeria. After there was no Christian in the close by to kill, the blood of innocent Christians that have killed is fighting them. Then they went into fighting each other. The sect of Izala are fighting the Sunni, fighting the Derika. That's why they'll meet them in the mosque and kill them, chanting Allahu Akbar, because of different belief in Islam. And this thing has not been common. It has been happening right from the time of Muhammad. Jihad. Sometimes at a point it will end up seeing same people of same faith killing each other. Like today, the ISWAP and the Boko Haram were busy killing each other at Lake Chad. It's not a news anymore.
Well, it's clearly a
They are
very,
fighting to have a supremacy
it's
of
clearly
that
a serious situation, and it's definitely worthy of more global attention. So, Reverend, thank you very much indeed for joining me. I appreciate it.
This is policy failure. This is government negligence. This is a scam. This is wickedness. And this is also social injustice. The question we must ask as citizens is, if President Bola Ahmed is truly alive and this attack continues this way, will you like Donald Trump to come with the US Army? Share your thoughts. See you in the next video.